Well, welcome back to today's Black Executive. I am Dr. Tanya Merriweather Gibson Miller. And once again, I will be bringing General Payne back into the studio. Listen, we had a few technical issues, but we worked them out. And I am so elated. And I thank General Payne and his group and his team for their patience as we prepare to bring this to you on today. You better get excited on here. So people ought to be sending some love things and sharing with folks so that they can hear the narrative that General Payne will share with us on today in regards to the original Black Panther militia. At this time, I'm so honored to bring back into the studio once again General Payne. All right, General, thank you for your patience on today as we were having some technical issues. I thank you for that, for giving us a moment to straighten that out and coming back into the studio.
Oh, no worries.
No worries. Thank you so very much. Well, as I was saying before the technical issues, I heard that you are also an actor. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
No, that was just something I was doing early in my career as a young man. I enjoyed, the arts and performing stage plays, different things of
Oh,
that nature. And yeah, I had a nice movie that went all
okay.
across the United States and into the stores and things like that. But yeah, that was a long time ago, a whole nother life.
Well, yeah, and I have some past life things for myself too that I did. I'm an international gospel recording artist as well. And
Okay.
so the arts thing, I can understand that. And then I'm so honored, being that I'm a veteran myself. I hear that you served in the military. Can you tell me a little bit about that before we jump into everything else?
Yeah, I joined the military under the I guess you could call it the buddy program, because I wanted to really get away from the environment that I was raised in, and
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that was something I wasn't gonna do. I told my best friend, I said, it's not gonna happen. I was watching what was it, Boys in the Hood at the time, and I remember
Mm-hmm.
Trey's father used to say, the military isn't a place for a black man. So
Mm-hmm.
I had that in my mind, and I was like, it's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna happen. But my good friend, and still a good friend of mine today, was
Mm-hmm.
pointing out where all of our friends were going and where they were headed, and the different things and circumstances they were running into. And he was like, well, what are you gonna do? And I
Mm-hmm.
said, hey, yeah, okay, maybe we should do that. So I did it for a little time to get out of my hometown, and yeah, and it brought me here to a whole nother life. So
Well, that's wonderful. I am also a veteran of the Army, and so I joined on the delay entry program.
okay.
And my parents were going crazy. My dad was a pastor, and they didn't want me going in the military. But I had signed up. I had turned 18 in February. That February, I signed up, and so I do thank you for your service to our country. I know a lot of times people say that, and there's not a lot attached to that. People feel they're just saying something, but
Mm.
being that I'm a veteran myself, I really appreciate and thank you for your service.
You're welcome. You as well.
Okay. Thank you. And so we're going to just jump right in. There's so many things that I want to just cover. I want to start right in on the original Black Panther militia. I
Yes,
want you
ma'am.
to tell me some of the history and how what your organization at this time where you are and how did you get started back up doing the original.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
ask that question, how do we have the term original in our name? And that's because you have, of course, Dr. Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale that started in 1966, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense out in Oakland, California. So once that blossomed and Panther groups started sprouting up all over the United States of Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, um, Michael McGee Sr. was a Black Panther Party for Self-Defense member out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And when he was running his chapter, as well as, of course, the Fred Hamptons and all the other members that were in different cities and states or
Mhm.
whatever. So what ends up happening is, of course, the FBI under J. Edgar Hoover um, start the COINTELPRO situation, the program
Mhm.
to push and destroy any black militia or any black organized group.
Mhm.
They put almost a hit out on what was known as like the black family.
Mhm.
And what they wanted to do was destroy our stronghold. That's why they attacked,
Mhm.
uh, infiltrated our churches, and even not just the black people,
Mhm.
but the white people that were even helping black organizations. So
Mhm.
what they wanted to do was to stop the rise of a black messiah. They wanted to stop the rise of black unity, and they wanted to destroy and dismantle that. And these aren't things I'm making up. These are actual FBI files that you can look up, that you can Google. It's public knowledge. They destroyed all of our food programs. We are the ones that started WIC. you know, we
Oh.
we
Mhm.
yeah, we did all that. We had the free breakfast programs. That was us. We gave away that. And when they bombed our buildings and put out in the news that our food was poisoned to try to deter people from eating our food, the food programs, of course, failed. And same thing with free healthcare and stuff like that. We were giving out free medical treatment to people. So these are things that are in our history. A lot of times it gets overshadowed by the times that you've seen us with guns and
Mhm.
rifles, and things of that nature. But that was really only a small, very, very small part of what we did. But to get to that history, Michael McGee Sr. and all the other Panthers that were Black Panther Party members were pushed underground or
Oh.
locked up or whatever because of COINTELPRO. That's
Mhm.
infiltration and and
Mhm.
counterintelligence program basically.
Mhm.
So once they all got pushed below ground, certain ones sprouted back up and started coming back. Michael McGee Sr. started the Black Panther Militia later.
Okay.
So that he was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and he came back and brought that initiative. Other people brought other things and did other things, and brought back different groups as well. But after a while, he hung his boots up, and he had a bodyguard, and his bodyguard started the original Black Panthers, which was bringing back everything that we were
Okay.
doing. He also was the
Mhm.
bodyguard for Geronimo Pratt and a few other people. So
Mhm.
that's how we got started because I
Okay.
uh, saw a void here in my city. And I said,
Mhm.
wow, something needs to be done. So what I did
Mhm.
was I sent in my paperwork to them and said, hey, I need to, what can I do to start a chapter here? And,
Mhm.
we got through it. They vetted me out. We did the whole 9 yards. And it was like, wow, let's get it done. And we were able to start our chapter here in Norfolk, Virginia. So that's how we got started. That's how we're connected, and that's why we go by original because we're from the bloodline of the original Black Panthers, and we're from the
Okay.
bloodline of the Black Panther Militia. So once I took over in the original Black Panthers, I added militia to the name to honor Michael McGee Sr., who put everything together.
Wow, thank you for that. Now, I want to just get in a little deeper because
Mhm.
it's more than just talking to you about, things on the surface. I want to know in depth, what your opinion may be about some things because, we will be, for those that are listening from today's Black Executive and those that are listening around the world, you will be able to also get this interview in print. We'll be sharing it in today's Black Executive magazine, the November, December 2021 issue. And then tonight, if you miss it, tell your friends and loved ones. They can tune in. Let me just share. You can go out and you can go to Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV will be on at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You just go out to Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and you add the channel LV Network. And then you'll be able to see a recap of this live interview. I just want to know, General Payne, just talking with you, do
Yes.
you feel as a society that we have a long way to go in race relationships?
Ah, hmm. That question, it's interesting, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
a long way to go. I don't think we have a long way to go. We've always
Mm-hmm.
been very inclusive. We've always
Mm-hmm.
been very welcoming.
Thank you
I
for
don't think,
saying that.
yeah, I don't think we've ever had a problem with race relations. We haven't had the issues of um, attacking people and bombing, and we haven't
Hmm.
had the destruction in our history. That doesn't come from us. Um, so yeah, I guess we are a long ways away still because we haven't been
Hmm.
included or welcomed in in
Hmm.
in in, in in a relationship factor uh, when dealing with other races. But
Okay.
I feel we get along perfectly fine with most everybody. So yeah, other races, I think we're good with them. But it's things that they're doing to us that is the problem.
Okay, well, I'm thinking about, in the news and going over different things that have occurred in the last few years. And so I guess when I'm saying about race relations, we see that there's a lot of things that are going on in different cities that
Hmm.
could be viewed as that we're all not on the same page. A lot of times we won't have that open conversation. As a society, as a race, we will just kind of push it to the side and act like it doesn't exist. And
Right.
we're all singing, we have overcome and we are, all together when that's not, in some cases, the truth. Let's get back to
Correct.
the Black Party militia. How will you help in the areas where you see um, that there are race relation issues where you are? How will you help to bridge that gap, or what will you do in that instance to help um, bring, I guess, more light to the Black cause, and the things that we can do in the community to
Mhm.
make it better? And
Well,
to help
one
them to understand us. I'm sorry, and to help them understand us. Go ahead.
right. One thing that we've attempted to do and that we're still doing is to be honest. I think there's a lot of honest dialogue that needs to happen. For one, in our school system, we have our history that is completely watered down. When you do that and you water down the history and you don't tell the full history, uh,
Mm-hmm.
the white students don't get to have empathy for uh, what the black man or woman is going through in America because they don't get the full story. They don't get the
Mm-hmm.
full history. Um, if we could get that history, because we've tried to push for Black history in schools for some time now, and
Mm-hmm.
I've even held Black history classes where I speak to all students, and when
Mm-hmm.
I talk to these students and the white students, they're surprised. They have no
Mm-hmm.
clue about certain things, and then they're
Yes.
like, "Wow, this is really the disproportion rates of this and that, and incarceration,
Mm-hmm.
redlining, the whole nine yards."
Mm-hmm.
All they teach in school is basically some slavery stuff. Then they kind of skip over that. They talk about those that fought back but peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
They rarely talk about of
Mm-hmm.
course, the Black Panthers, Malcolm X,
Mm-hmm.
that breezed over really
Mm-hmm.
quickly. The Nat Turners. In
Mm-hmm.
Virginia they talk about him just because he's from here. But other than that,
Yes.
it's a very quick conversation and a quick lesson. They don't want you to really talk about those real rebels and the people that really gave their life to fight back. I mean, not to say that the Martin Luther Kings and things of that nature didn't,
Mm-hmm.
but they had a different approach,
Mm-hmm.
and in a lot of the speeches, they only go over the main speech of
Mm-hmm.
inclusion uh,
Yes.
instead of the full story. So I think the narrative needs to change. I think we have
Mm-hmm.
to not be scared to look at the past and see what our ancestors have done, their ancestors have done, the mistakes that have been made. There has to be some
Mm-hmm.
type of help, assistance, reparation, something. Something needs to be done because we built America and we're on
Mm-hmm.
the bottom of the totem pole of America. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, and we're continuously attacked. See, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that slavery has been reinvented at least three times, and it's still in a form of existence under another name. See, people say I'm crazy until I really put it together, link it all together, and tell them about it. But it actually is in existence, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, a lot of us as Black people still don't even know it. We walk around feeling like we're completely free, And when we do that,
Wow.
we're masked. We're walking around thinking everything is all good, and we can have parties and kick it, and
Hmm.
do all these different things when we should be fighting for our freedom still, because we don't technically have it.
Wow. I hear what you're saying. You're saying that there are, that was interesting that you said there are three forms, you said, of slavery that we're still under.
Yeah, well, there's it's been reinvented three times.
Okay.
If we go from slavery to the Black Code era, if we go to the Jim Crow era, and then if we
Hmm.
go to the penal system and the way that we're attacked and the way that we were denied um, loans and business loans and housing
Hmm.
and all those grants that weren't given to us because we were under the redlining system. So
Hmm.
all those things have been denied from us. If you look at the felony, the way the felony system is, and the way they make sure we get those felonies and get those higher rates of incarceration, and they disarm us. Felons can't even wear vests. Different than a bulletproof vest. They
Hmm.
can't protect themselves. They can't have weapons.
Wow.
They can't vote. Well, sometimes in certain places they can. It's not,
Hmm.
but it's extremely hard, and you have to, try to get your rights back. I really feel once you serve your time and you're off papers and everything like that, there shouldn't
Hmm.
be any thing that carries. You should be able to enter society and pay you're paying taxes, so you should be able to
Hmm.
enter society and do as the rest of the citizens do. But your
Hmm.
rights are completely stripped, and they make sure once
Wow.
they trap you in that system, you can't get away from it.
Okay, good. Now the redlining, it's amazing you're talking about that, because I'm in Texas right now,
Hmm.
and here in Texas they've been featuring and focusing in on how in some disadvantaged neighborhoods, where businesses are applying for grants and for home loans and different things, that they're being denied. It's not
Right.
that they don't have the credit score. It's not that they don't have the job that they need with the amount of income that needs to come in. It's not those types of things. It's just basically where they live and who they are, and it's in the poverty areas. And
Absolutely.
so it's very sad to see that in today's time that is still going on. I was very saddened to see that. I mean, I've experienced some of that myself. I'm African American myself, but
Right.
it's still hurtful when you see how it's not just one person; it's a lot of people. And so, for a moment, that really stunned me. I said, "Wow, we're in 2021, and we're acting like it's all good, but you can turn on the news and you can see." That is still going on. That was just like, oh my goodness, to me. That was an eye opener. I know you're saying, where does this girl come from with this country accent? Alabama. That's at Alabama.
No, you're fine.
It's that Alabama accent. Well, what are some of your ongoing community programs or
Mhm.
initiatives that you all are spearheading right now in the community?
We actually have a lot. We have one coming up called our winter pack giveaway, where we give away jackets and a turkey to each family, a hat, and it's all new. We just had our school giveaway was right before school had started, but we give away free sneakers, brand new to the
Wow.
kids, and a backpack full of school supplies and things of that nature. We also do shopping with a Panther. We really
Hmm.
like that one, and that's where
Hmm.
we take a kid that has lost their parent to violence,
Hmm.
and we take them on a shopping spree. We give each kid $100 and just tell them
Hmm.
go blow it up. And
Hmm.
I always tell this story because one child showed up, and it was kind of fresh, and she had
Hmm.
just lost her father, and
Hmm.
you know she went in there. She came and she had tears in her eyes, and
Hmm.
it was really hurting her. But
Hmm.
we said, hey, I know it's sad, but you're gonna have a good day. We're gonna make sure
Hmm.
you have a good day today. No matter what is going on
Hmm.
today, you're gonna have a good day. So she wiped her eyes and she went in the store with us. And next thing you know, she came out with the biggest pink pony.
Wow.
It couldn't even
Hmm.
fit in the cart. It was the biggest pink
Wow.
pony you could ever want to
Hmm.
see. And we put it on that cart, and she had a smile. And
Hmm.
that's what it was about. I hope she remembers it for the rest of her life. Um or until she needs to not have that memory anymore, or whatever. But I hope it sticks with her, because I just remember the smile on her face and some of the other
Mhm.
children when they get new shoes, or something like that. I mean, somebody walks up to you and just hands you a box of new shoes and says, "These are yours," and walk
Yeah.
off. We don't need
Mhm.
nothing from you. We don't want nothing.
Wow.
All power to the people, and we're out of there. But so we have that. We have a food program where we give away
Mhm.
boxes of food um, every week. I think we were feeding uh, maybe it was, what is it, 250. I think
Wow.
250 families per
Mhm.
week. So
Mhm.
it's a lot. We are, and then we do a
Yeah.
community cleanup too, where we actually pay the kids to clean up their own community, and teach them that it doesn't have to be a hood. And we also go over little
Mhm.
small lessons like, ladies first, and chivalry, things like that,
Mhm.
because I could see through our music and different things that we have going on. We've lost that, and
Mhm.
it's all about usury, and what we can get from one another, when we need to be
Mhm.
uplifting one another, and our women need to be protected, our children need to be protected. So we teach those things while we're going through these programs, and that's the whole point of it.
And now, how do you get funding for these programs, or how does that occur?
Did I
Because
just
that's a
freeze up?
lot. No, I can see you. You
Okay.
said that you have you. How do you get funding for these programs? That seems like a lot that you're doing. They're really good programs.
Absolutely, yeah, we're self-funded.
Wow.
Yeah, we make sure we all put things in a pot, and we make it help happen ourselves. So
So it's really pushing the cause. It's not just talking the talk, it's walking the walk as well. Because a lot of times people will say, "Yeah, I'm for this cause," or "I'm for this," but they're not doing it themselves. It's something when you go in your own pocket and you do it yourself, and you make it
absolutely.
happen.
And we
Hmm.
learned, of course, from, in the 60s, we can't depend on the government. We don't even want to ask the government. Once you do that, then they start to own you. And I believe that's a lot of problems that I run into with a lot of different, I guess, as you call, activists, or different groups.
Hmm.
All things are needed, but to me, you're not a real activist if you can't speak on uh, anything that's needed to empower your people. If you can't speak
Wow.
on things because you're scared of losing funding,
Hmm.
and you're scared
Uh-huh.
of losing whatever the government is providing you with,
Hmm.
and so you decide to stay hush about certain topics and certain situations, then I don't know, you're real part-time. Me, I have the freedom to say whatever I want and speak on whatever I want, and I don't have to worry about anything besides their threats. That's it.
Wow. Well, I've enjoyed you allowing us to just come in today's Black Executive and just talk with you, and just to put a face to the original Black Panther militia. Even though you guys have been serving and you've been doing some awesome work, as well as, I'm not downplaying the original organization or any of the work that they have done. I think
Mhm.
it was just important that we also do a live interview so people can know who you are. They can see you and can connect. Can you tell those that are watching us on today how can they connect with the original Black Panther militia?
Yeah, definitely. You can find us on, well, most platforms.
Mm-hmm.
They try to shut us
Mm-hmm.
down sometimes, but we're always
Mm-hmm.
we're always around. But you
Mm-hmm.
can you can definitely look us up on our website, which
Mm-hmm.
is theoriginalblackpanthers.com. You can find us on Facebook. Our
Mm-hmm.
It's Black Panthers OBPM
Mm-hmm.
Virginia. Yeah.
Okay.
Black Panthers OBPM Virginia, or you can actually hit our hotline at 757 214 2098. We actually have our number that we do put out to the public. A lot of times we get calls because we run into something that is happens a lot in different communities, but our people get mistreated by the stores that are
Mm-hmm.
even in those communities, and our women are getting assaulted, or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case may be, and we go in there and we demand somebody to be fired, or we shut the store down. Uh,
Mhm.
we tell them, you're not going to make money here in our community and hurt our people. That's not going to happen.
Mhm.
Typically you're supposed to give back to the community when you're in the community. But if you're not going to do that, the next thing is you're not going to be disrespectful and, be hurting our people. So that's what we get most calls about. But,
Right.
we're always doing something, and we're always looking to help any way we can in the community. And we have chapters all across the United States. So, and we're looking to start more. So
That's
definitely contact
wonderful.
us.
Wow, I'm so glad that you shared your information with those. I was really just me. I'm a person that's big on community service and giving back and helping in the community, and not just talking about we need a change, but actually being a part of that change. And
Mhm.
so myself, and being that I'm a minority myself from Alabama, um, with the television network and magazines and things like that. When I was growing up, I was born. Oh, I'm telling my age, somebody, in 1966. I was born in 1966,
Wow. Okay.
and
Okay.
um, and from Alabama, in
Mhm.
Alabama. And so these kind of things that I'm doing in my life, I never could have imagined that as a little girl in Alabama. I grew up with a lot of love with my parents, wonderful people. They're going home to be with the Lord now. But I thank them for everything that they instilled in us. And one thing that my parents, the late Reverend Dr. J. Merriweather Sr., and my mother, Lady Betty Rose Atmore Merriweather, instilled in us is that we are all servant leaders, that we are all here to serve each other. And
Mhm.
so I just thank you for your message on today. Very positive. I think some people that tuned in, maybe thinking they were going to get a different type of narrative. It's really good to see a young African American man. I've just got to say it, that you're saying, hey, in our community, we're going to do this. We're going to stand up for each other, that we're going to take care of our families. We're going to take care of our children. And so I appreciate that, and what the work that you all are doing. The members of your team that I had the opportunity to meet, let them know that I appreciate the time that they gave, especially your marketing person. Wonderful. I appreciate that. And I thank you for taking out of your time today, sir, to come on and be a part of today's Black Executive, just sharing this live interview so people could get to know you. Once again, to those that are listening in, I see the comments that are shown up here. We have Gloria Miller. She said, I admire Margaret Sanger enormously, her courage, her tenacity, her vision. I'm really in awe of her. There are a lot of lessons we can learn from her life. So there are people that are sharing things. They're saying good work, keep it going. Those are good, positive things to hear that
That's
people are
not
sharing.
positive. You know who Margaret
No, I
Sanger is?
missed it. I missed it.
Yeah, you
I
missed
missed
that one.
it. Oh
Yeah,
God, go back. So I done had an
Mark.
ignorant moment online that's in live where everybody can hear. Go ahead, brother, educate me.
It's okay. Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger is she was with the eugenics program, and she's the one who started Planned Parenthood. And 75% of Planned
Oh my
Parenthood
goodness.
are in Black neighborhoods, and that is the leading cause of Black deaths right now because of the abortion rate. So yeah, she
Okay, so I
tried it,
had a
but
big. So she got me good. So what
yeah,
we're
she
gonna
tried
do, this is my thing. I'm really big on this. So please, people, let this redeem me. I'm gonna block this user. I use that. That's a big thing with me. I might, how they say, I'm gonna let my husband know. Why didn't you type in and say, "Hey, don't say that" when you saw that on the thing, to save me from? I wasn't aware of that, or I just wasn't thinking about that. But I appreciate you for clarifying with me. Wow, that's amazing that people will come in, even on the live broadcast, trying to come with something crazy.
Yeah,
So
people tend to
anyway,
think that we're people,
wow.
and that's something I hear from sometimes some Caucasian people think that we're a hate group. We're not a hate group. We never have been. We've never attacked anybody. If you remember from 1966, Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton And even
Mm-hmm.
with Fred Hampton was doing the Rainbow Coalition, where he had the Brown Berets, he had the White Panthers, he had the Young Lords. So we we've never been that. I know most white people try to paint the narrative that we're opposite of the KKK so that they can make themselves feel better and say, "Oh, well, you guys got a group like that too that hate white people." No, that's not the case. I don't feel that you have to hate anyone else in order to uplift yourself. I feel that we should,
Mm-hmm.
as Bobby Seale said, fight racism with solidarity and not with racism. So we go on that level, but people, some people are ignorant to that fact and they
Wow.
just want to paint a different narrative of us. But you know, that's just
Wow.
another
So,
uphill battle.
well, I thank you for that education. I had an education moment. I've been sending out things to everyone, encouraging them and saying, so this was one of those days, saying to them that you can't, if you can't learn, you can't grow as a person. Right. And
Cool.
so I learned something new today. So I thank you so much for sharing that with me. And I do apologize that that person came on with that, but now they are officially a block user. So I
It's
thank them
okay.
for allowing me to block them. Once again, I appreciate you coming on. For those that missed it, you'll be able to come on tonight and tune in and see, and then you'll be able, and minus that last little bit, you'll be able to see the hear the interview um, in the magazine. You'll be able to read it for yourself, the narrative of what we shared on today together. Once again, I thank you, General Payne. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we close out?
All power to the people.
All right, all righty. So
That's it.
until next time, I'm sure this will have many other times that will bring you all on, that you'll be able to share different things that's going on in the community and that's going on within your organization. Once again, tell your whole team I said thank you, and I will make sure that you get a copy of everything that we're doing. Okay.
And thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the platform. It's a beautiful
Yes.
thing that you're doing, and it gives us a chance to, inform and educate the public. So it's all a wonderful thing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You be blessed.
You too.
All righty. Mhm. All right, so that ends our interview with General Payne of the original Black Panther Militia. Until next time, guess what? You have a blessed day and you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you.